64 teams by the end of today will be down to 16. Arizona State a perfect 2-0 in Texas. One win and they move on to the super regional round. Texas A&M facing elimination for a second straight year at home. The Sun Devils and Aggies set for a showdown on Regional Championship Sunday. Welcome to the NCAA Softball Regionals presented by Capital One, and welcome to Davis Diamond, College Station, Texas at Texas A&M University. Game 6 of the College Station Regional, Arizona State 2-0, Texas A&M 2-1. It is a double elimination tournament. Arizona State has not lost, so even if they lose today, the teams would come back and play a Game 7. Texas A&M needs a win here today to force that Game 7. It is great to have you with us alongside the Tennessee All-American Madison Shipman. I am Eric Freed, and this is familiar territory for Texas A&M. 1 year ago, they were the #1 overall seed in the tournament, but they lost here on their home field, and now here they are again facing elimination.
Yeah, Texas A&M is fighting for their season, but for both of these teams, this is exactly where you want to be. This is what you work all fall for. This is what you work all season for a chance to make it back to the Women's College World Series, but it all starts in regionals. You've got to make it out of the regionals. And today, we've got a rematch of a game that we saw yesterday between these two teams. And again, all out on the line for Texas A&M and Arizona State. It started off at the bat for the Aggies with Michaela Works' 21st home run of the season. Brings the howdy hat right out of the dugout. But Arizona State fighting back late with this game-tying single up the middle off of the senior Kaylee Pond's bat. And then it was Kenzie Brown, one of the top strikeout pitchers in the country, was in the circle, got the start for Arizona State yesterday. She ended up with 6 strikeouts on the day to send Texas A&M into an elimination game.
And that game is right now. And Arizona State will go with Mika Lupi. That's always the big question here heading into Game 6. What will the team in the driver's seat do with their pitching?
That's always a strategy with these coaches. When you have that one game to play with, because Texas A&M would have to beat Arizona State twice today, do you go out there with your ace in Game 1, or do you throw Mika Lupi, who's your #2, who has been pitching extremely well? On the other side for Texas A&M, Sydney Peters got the start against Arizona State yesterday, and she is back out there throwing today.
It will be her 3rd start of the regional. She'll do it here on her home field, and the edge that A&M might need will come from the 12th man. It'll be loud here. It'll be a great atmosphere. The first pitch is next.
We're here for those who build America. Those who believe that giving everything we've got today will pay off tomorrow. Who will drive America forward for 250 years to come. If that's who you are, you value what we value, and you should pay what we pay.
People do anything to make their beer cold. Try viral hacks. Use outdoor fridges, freezers too. Oops, that's why the Coors Light Mountains turn blue. Because people don't just like beer, people like cold beer.
With long-lasting battery life, play never runs out of power. The Dell XPS.
Does Inez want a $4 sausage biscuit meal deal or a sausage McMuffin meal deal? Sausage McMuffin. Get more value with your $4 breakfast meal deal from McDonald's.
So I got this friend who said T-Mobile's network used to suck. His words.
But things change. It turns out that now T-Mobile has the best network by like a lot. Hey dude, you won't believe where I am.
Back at Davis Diamond, it is warm, it is humid, and as has been the case all weekend, the wind is howling and blowing out as the 12th man ready to go here at A&M. The Aggies and the Sun Devils ready to start. And getting the start, as Madison just talked about, it is Mika Lupi, the junior in the circle in a big spot here, a chance to move on to the Super Regionals.
Coming into today, we were wondering, was head coach Megan Bartlett going to go with Kenzie Brown, or was she going to start Mika Lupi? But a lot of credit to Mika Lupi and the way that she has pitched recently to give her the opportunity to get this start, to give them a chance to get to the Super Regional. You're going to see her bring really good velocity. You'll see her touch low 270s. She gets a ton of ground ball outs with that drop ball that she works at the bottom half of the zone. So that infield has to be ready for those ground ball outs.
First pitch is delivered, and it's a strike from Lupe to Kennedy Powell. Capital One starting lineup for Texas A&M. Very familiar look with Powell, Edwards, Perez, Wark. Kowalewski's had an outstanding regional in the 5 spot. Powell pulls it back. It's 1-1. Kennedy at .411 on the season. That's good for second on the team. Senior third baseman was 1 for 4 in the elimination game last night against the UConn Huskies. 3 for 11 in the tournament. First team all-conference selection in the SEC this year. Slaps it to the shortstop, picked by Brooklyn Ulrich on to Katie Chester at first, 1 down.
The infielders, especially the middle infielders, are going to have to be ready for the ball being hit hard off of the bat of these Texas A&M batters, because they can swing it, but when you've got that down bite on the drop ball, hitters are going to have a tendency to get on top of it, so they are going to have to be ready to make those plays.
Arizona State defense has been very good, just 1 error in the first 2 regional games so far. Here's Talon Edwards, senior second baseman, takes a strike. Edwards 1 for 4 Saturday against UConn, 2 for 9 in the regional. She has been hit by a pitch and walked twice, so she's been on base a bunch. 336 on the season. Comes inside, doesn't get the call. It's 1-1. Mike Bartling calling balls and strikes behind the plate today.
That low part of the zone is going to be something that Mika Lupe is going to have to figure out and navigate as this game goes on, because she wants that pitch at the knees called for a strike with her down bite on that drop ball.
Samantha Swan is the catcher for Arizona State. Little communication you can see with Swan using some hand gestures, trying to tell the coaching staff in the Arizona State dugout what's being called right now by the plate umpire.
I know it's early, but it looks like those pitches are clipping the bottom part of the zone, so we'll see where Mika Lupe adjusts.
Edwards fouls it off. It's 2-2.
I think of things from the offensive game plan too. If you're going up against somebody like Mika Lupe and you're Talon Edwards, you're thinking you want to make her bring that pitch further up in the zone. And if that bottom part of the zone is not being called strikes, it almost plays into your game plan a little bit, because you can totally lay off the bottom part of the strike zone.
Sent out to left field. Yaya Acuna is under it. She's got it. 2 down here in the first. Lupe got the start in game 1, went the distance. 5 innings. It was an 8-0 run rule win over McNeese. 5 hits, 1 walk. Kenzie Brown was outstanding yesterday, going the distance in the victory against Texas A&M. So I'm just curious to see what your thought was when you see the lineup card and it's not Kenzie Brown, Madison.
I was a little bit surprised, just because when you are 1 win away from advancing to a super regional, my school of thought is to go out there with your ace, especially when it's somebody like Kenzie Brown that can rack up the amount of strikeouts that she has throughout this season. But I believe that because Mika Lupe has been pitching so well, that's why Coach Megan Bartlett has decided to go ahead and give her the start in this game. And that's kind of been the formula for Arizona State when you look at this postseason. You'll see Kenzie Brown get a start on one day, and you'll see Mika Lupe get a start on the next day. Aisa Silva is a lefty that's been able to get some clutch innings for them too. I think back to the Big 12 tournament last week where they were going back and forth, and that formula worked out for them last week, and they're carrying that over into this weekend.
1-1 the count to Maya Perez. Doesn't get the call. It's 2-1. Perez at .423, best on the team at hitting. First team all-conference selection in the SEC for a second consecutive year. Last night, her season-long on-base streak came to a close. It had dated back to last year's NCAA tournament. She was on base 58 consecutive games, but was 0 for 4 against UConn last night. Three and 1 to Perez. Perez has excellent power, 19 home runs on the season, as does the on-deck hitter, Michaela Wark, with a team-best 21 home runs. Time is called. There is Wark, who has a couple of home runs in this regional. It's a strike. It's 3-2. Swung on and missed. Good start for Loopy as she gets Powell, Edwards, and Perez in the top of the first.
She brings the drop ball up just a little bit to get herself back into this count, and then look at that late movement on the drop, low and inside to get one of the best hitters in the country to swing and miss. Great start for Arizona State.
We'll return with more softball after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
I found a place.
A place.
It's massive in there.
What is this?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. All right, just take it slow. Oh, God. Pull me up, pull me up, pull me up!
Are you ready to step through?
Backrooms, rated R.
So today, we're announcing
The NCAA Softball Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Back at Texas A&M, elimination game for the Aggies. Arizona State has not lost yet here in this regional. If they win, this regional is over. If they lose, we'll play a, if necessary, Game 7. In the circle for Texas A&M is Sydney Peters.
On the other side, we saw Mika Lupi working down in the zone. Sydney Peters is somebody who has one of those electric rise balls that's going to work at the top part of the strike zone. She will mix in that changeup. It's another pitch, that off speed that I think is going to be so important for her today against this red-hot Arizona State offense. And to be able to work that rise ball on different planes, to set up batters looking low in the zone, and then to get them to chase at those pitches moving up.
Ball one to Tanya Wendell, leadoff hitter for this this Arizona State team, rather. As you take a look at the Sun Devils starting lineup, brought to you by Capital One. Wendell at 400 with 8 homers, 28 RBI. No change in the lineup for Arizona State, as you can imagine. A team that's hitting .333 here in this regional. 6 home runs for Arizona State. In total, between the 4 teams, UConn, McNeese, Texas A&M, and Arizona State, 20 home runs here at Davis Diamond in the first 2 days. Wendell with a solid single up the middle to get Arizona State started. Now, if I had to guess today, a home run could very much be in play because it is still windy. It is hot. The temps in the 80s, pushing 90. Very, very humid. But that's the way the Flags have looked for 3 days here. Feels like temperature 96, and that wind gusting to the mid to high 20s at times and blowing out.
Yes, it is windy, but we have seen some absolute moonshots. We have seen some home runs make it 252 feet out to center field. So maybe there's a little bit of wind, but those types of home runs are going out no matter what.
As I mentioned, 20 for College Station. Durham and Knoxville close behind. 6 hit by Arizona State, 9 by Texas A&M. 1-1 the count to Kaylee Pond. Had the big hit yesterday, 6th-year grad student who plays center field, .342 on the season. 2 for 4 in the regional, has walked 3 times and been hit by a pitch and has added a home run. two in the lineup for Arizona State. Wendell and Pond playing the final games of their collegiate careers. For Kaylee, it's been a long journey. She has missed 2 full seasons. She's had multiple knee injuries. I talked to her after the game last night, and she's just thankful for feeling healthy, feeling good, and being in a position where she can help this team take the next step and get to the Super Regionals.
Well, and what a great perspective for Kaylee Pond to have, too, to say that because of those injuries, and nobody wants to be injured, but because of those injuries, it allowed her to be where she is today. So she is taking full advantage of being here with Arizona State with a chance to advance on to a Super Regional, and she came through in the clutch for the team. When they needed that game-tying hit in the top of the 7th inning, she was able to smack it right back up the middle.
Second team all-conference selection in the Big 12. Takes a strike, and it's 3-2. Arizona State, the Big 12 tournament champions. They went on quite the run. They beat the 3-seed Arizona 2-1, the 2-seed Oklahoma State 11-7, the 1-seed Texas Tech 4-0 at Devon Park in Oklahoma City last week. Pond off her foot, foul ball. Arizona State 11-13 in the Big 12. They were the number 6 seed. Went on that run. They have won 8 straight games. That is the second longest active winning streak in Division I softball at the moment, behind Nebraska.
We got a chance to talk to head coach Megan Bartlett before today's game and just asked her a little bit about what she saw from her team in yesterday's comeback win against the Aggies.
Pond sends one to left center field. It's carrying, and it is one hop off the wall. Wendell hitting the gas, heading to third. She's held there. Back-to-back hits to get things started for the Sun Devils here in the first.
Coach Megan Bartlett said her team was feeling loose and relaxed coming into today's game, and we're already seeing that from the first couple of at-bats. Kaylee Pond gets a really good piece of this rise ball that's working up and away to the lefty, and it's Kelsey Mathis out in center field trying to get a beat on it. She's not able to get there, so reads it off of the wall, and Kaylee Pond bringing the energy yet again. We saw her running up and down that dugout after she got that base hit up the middle in yesterday's game, and it seems like she has not slowed up at all.
100th double for Arizona State as a team this season. They have hit 97 home runs as a team, so they can get those extra base hits. Here's Samantha Swan, the junior catcher, 377 on the season, 11 home runs, 48 runs batted in. First team all-conference selection in the Big 12, a unanimous selection. She's had a fantastic year. From Georgetown, Texas, about an hour and a half, hour 45, she says from here. 1-1. Samantha may not look very tall, and when she squats behind the plate as a catcher, kind of gets really into this like tight little squat position, but man, do not misunderstand or underestimate her strength.
Insane amount of strength, and a lot of that comes from the powerlifting background that she has. That was something that we got a chance to talk to her about coming into this week. Not too often that we hear somebody with a powerlifting background, going all the way back to 7th grade for her, she said, is when she got started.
Line shot foul, and it's 2-2.
And I know, Eric, you do a ton of powerlifting, so you know that's bench and squat and deadlift. I did ask her which is her favorite exercise. She said she does enjoy deadlifting the most out of it. Okay, yeah, of course. Yeah. I think I joked with her that my back was just hurting thinking about it.
The 2-2. Off the hands and out of play. We'll do it again. One thing that's been impressive about Swan, the improvement at the plate over last year. Hit 299, a couple of home runs, 19 RBI, but those numbers have skyrocketed this year. Another 2-2 from Peters. Waits on it, base hit for Swan. They'll bring in just one. They'll hold the runner at third, and Arizona State jumps out to a 1-0 lead. RBI number 49 on the season for that power lifter from Georgetown.
Eric, you were just talking about the improvement in her numbers from last season to this season. She said a key for her and what really clicked was staying behind the softball, keeping her barrel back behind the ball, and that's exactly how you hit a changeup like we just saw Samantha Swan do, driving it right back up the middle. You've got to make sure that you're keeping your energy, keeping your momentum back just long enough to adjust your timing in that 2-strike count to drive it back up the middle, and she gets the Sun Devils on the board early in the bottom of the first.
Peters pitched against Arizona State yesterday, went 6 1/3, gave up 6 hits, was charged with 4 runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. She looked good against Arizona State, but the Sun Devils are on top of what she's doing here so far in the first inning. What have you noticed so far about their approach?
There have been a couple of times where Sydney Peters has been trying to locate that low rise ball at the bottom part of the zone. Remember, that was something that we had talked about on the flip side with Mika Lupi. She wasn't getting those calls, so what Sydney Peters has had to do is bring that rise ball up in the zone just a little bit more. And she's also been trying to throw that changeup. The changeup hanging up in the zone just a bit too much. Some good discipline by the Arizona State batters, laying off of that chase pitch, the rise ball up and out of the strike zone. So basically, they're trying to do whatever they can to control these at-bats and force Sydney Peters back into the zone.
2-0 the count to Emily Shep. Pop up on the infield. Powell looking for it. Had to zigzag around Pond. At third, there's the first out of the inning.
Almost looked like they were dancing around each other when Kennedy Powell was going back. Had to avoid Kaylee Pond, who is standing on third base, so she's in the right spot. She can't go anywhere, so you have to stay on the base. She keeps the left foot there. Really nice job by Kennedy Powell, too, to track that one back behind third base.
Here's Katie Chester with 1 down. Strike 1 from Peters. Chester leading the team with 20 home runs, 66 RBI. Hit that 20th home run yesterday in the win against Sydney Peters and Texas A&M yesterday. Arizona State beat McNeese Friday on day 1. They knocked off Texas A&M with 2 runs in the 7th, 4-3. Yesterday, Texas A&M had to play 2 games yesterday. They lost to Arizona State, and then they played in the 3rd and final game of the day where they knocked off UConn to advance on here to the championship Sunday showdown with the Sun Devils. Here's Katie Chester's homer against Peters yesterday.
Katie Chester with a ton of power coming from the right side, and this is a rise ball that Peters was trying to get up and underneath the hands, and instead she beats that pitch to the spot, so she gets her barrel right out in front of her to drive it out of the ballpark. Got to celebrate with the wrestling belt and the pitchfork move with the bat down into the ground. Everybody's got their own home run celebrations.
Yeah, they couldn't bring the Sun Devil pitchfork out onto the field. That's what happens in the NCAA tournament. So you improvise, and everybody knows the move with that bat, that's the Arizona State.
You're allowed to bring a bat on the field. We do know that.
Playing the role of the pitchfork for the Sun Devils. 1-2 to Chester. Off the plate, 2-2. In on the hands, Bloop behind third, and a great catch by Powell, tagging and heading for home, and sliding in safely is Pond. Terrific play by the all-conference third baseman for Texas A&M, and heads-up base running for Pond being ready to go on the sacrifice fly, 2-0.
This is a well-executed play all the way around. Such a difficult play for Kennedy Powell to make as she's running back towards left field. And Kaylee Pond has her eyes on it the entire time, and she knows that because Kennedy Powell has all of her momentum running out towards the outfield, that's going to give Pond the advantage to make it in on that sac fly.
Ashley Mejia steps in with 2 down. Takes ball 1.
The only other thing I could think on that play is if Paisley Allen, who's out there playing left field, would have had a better jump on it just with the momentum to be able to throw the ball back to the plate. But she was playing a bit deep with Katie Chester up to the plate.
Off the end of the bat, this is going to squib. The throw on the first isn't going to be in time, and it's an infield hit for Mejia. Not much Dement could do, just wasn't hit hard enough, and as she waited on it, that gave Mejia plenty of time to get down the line. 4th hit of the inning for Arizona State.
Couple of frustrating back-to-back at-bats now for Sydney Peters because she's made some pretty good pitches, but Arizona State's just doing whatever they can to put the ball in play. And you said it, Eric, there was nothing else that KK Dement could have done on that ground ball. She got rid of it in a hurry, but Ashley Mejia beats it out.
Ball 1 to Yaya Acuna, the senior left fielder, at 280 on the season. 0 for 4 in the regional. That's in there for a strike. I think it's pretty clear so far. The strike zone is going to be tight.
Very
for
tight.
Both pitchers. We saw it in the top of the first. I think it's continued here for Peters. Those low strikes don't look like they're being called right now.
Yeah, the pitchers are not getting the calls at the bottom part of the zone, whether it's a drop ball or even the low rise out of the hand of Sydney Peters.
Tapped over to Powell. She's got it, and that will do it. 2 runs in the first for Arizona State, trying to advance on to the Super Regionals for the first time since 2022.
This offense continues to roll off of the bat of Kaylee Pond. Samantha Swan driving this changeup back up the middle, and the Sun Devils are rolling early in College Station.
Welcome back to Papa John's. I'm hand stuffing this mozzarella to make our epic stuffed crust pizza.
Epic.
Epic. Hey, we're making you an epic stuffed crust pizza for $13.99.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
With Chewy, pets get their care taken care of. With everything to be their healthiest, happiest selves. Quality meds, supplements, and nutrition at great prices. For help with health, for life with pets, there's Chewy.
Introducing Gatorade Lower Sugar. No artificial colors, no artificial flavors, no artificial sweeteners, and 75% less sugar. Gatorade Lower Sugar. Hydrates better than water.
You can do this. You can be the first millennial to book a trip on their phone.
How?
Kayak. They compare hundreds of sites, so you know you're getting the right flight, hotel, or rental car.
Kayak. Got that right. For over 100 years, the NCAA has supported student-athletes competing and going to college. And now, the NCAA and its schools provide healthcare coverage, mental health services, scholarship guarantees, and more. And scholarships have grown. The NCAA is a launching point, a leg up, and a spot to land. See all the ways the NCAA puts student-athletes first.
No number 1 seed has been eliminated in this regional round. Group drills this. There it goes. Gone! Swing and a miss. Ball game over. Liberty does the unthinkable. It knocks out the number 1 overall seed.
That was last year here at Davis Diamond. Stunning upset. Liberty knocking off the number 1 overall seed. And here is Tricia Ford's team back this year. And we talked to Tricia about this week, that, maybe being that number 1 seed, things happen too quickly. It's her 4th year in charge of this program. She was the Arizona State head coach before coming here to Texas A&M. So that's another little interesting wrinkle for this matchup here today. And that maybe they were that number 1 overall seed too quickly. Like, things happen so fast. And that's been a big talking point maybe outside the program about turning the page and moving on from such a disappointment last year. But here they are in the similar position to where they were a year ago. It's just that they're the 15th seed, not the 1 seed overall this year. First pitch, fly ball to right. Wark is retired. 1 down.
It is a little bit of a different mindset, though, when you come into this season with the number 15 next to your name versus the number 1. When you have the number 1, you're the number 1 overall pick in the seeding, then you're going to have a big target on your back. And when you have a team like Liberty come to College Station, we know that head coach Dot Richardson always prepares her team with one of the toughest schedules across the country so that they are prepared for those big moments. And Texas A&M, it looked like they got punched in the mouth a little bit during those games, too. They ended up giving up 6 runs late in that last game, too, when they ultimately lost to Liberty. And that's something that they've had to think about now for an entire year, and here they find themselves back in an elimination round. But it has been the mindset about trying to turn the page, and Coach Tricia Ford did joke with us that she said she doesn't ever think she's going to get over it because she is the ultimate competitor.
I don't know how much of a joke it was to her. It still seemed a little raw, but Kowalewski, who's been good, backhanded it first by Chester, 2 down. But when you think about this year as the 15th seed, and the NCAA committee and the tournament there's a little tweak to it. Now 17 through 32 is being seeded as well. We don't know the exact number for Arizona State, but if you want to just kind of do the simple math, 15, 16, 17. Oh, Arizona State's probably the number 18 overall seed in the tournament. So 15, 18 are 2 evenly matched teams. And so you would expect this to be a tight regional, and the game between these 2 teams was tight. A&M led in the 7th, and the only lead for Arizona State came in the 7th inning when Megan Bartlett's team scored twice and put it away.
It really is a battle of 2 teams that have really good arms in the circle, that have great offenses top to bottom, and can also play really solid defense.
Grounded, foul ball. Mathis with the grounder, gloved by Shep at third, but the plate umpire, Mike Bartling, called it foul.
Talking to Coach Bartlett, too, that defense that we were just mentioning is something that has really picked up for this team, because we were asking her just about the run that the Arizona State Sun Devils have been on towards the end of season. Every team wants to be the team that's playing their best softball at the end of the year, but I think you could say that Arizona State is playing their best softball of the season. And Coach Bartlett talks a lot about the defense and how that's really helped them settle in towards the end of the season.
Ended up losing 16 games overall, and they're below 500 in the conference. They were battling injuries throughout the year. They didn't really have their full roster throughout the season after week number 1. A lot of teams deal with so much, especially when you get to this time of year. Rosters are completely full. But for Arizona State, they took their lumps, and that probably cost them a top 16 seed in that consideration. That's why they were out of the hosting position and had to come here to College Station.
Emily Shep over at third base is a great example of that, too, because she grew up a catcher. She is a catcher, but she has had to learn that third base role. And even though she didn't get the out because it was a foul ball, that was still a really nice backhand play that she made over at third base.
Two the count to Mathis with 2 down here in the second. Kelsey, the sophomore center fielder, has 1 hit in the regional. It was a home run. One of those 9 home runs hit by Texas A&M. They've got power all throughout the lineup. Ground ball past Shep at third, and there's the first hit for the Aggies. It comes with 2 down in the second.
Another key in this game for both teams is going to be stacking together those quality at-bats. When you have the opportunities with runners on base, what can you do to bring them around to score? Whether it's with no outs or with 2 outs, can you pass the bat along to your teammate and try to produce with runners on board?
One thing's for certain, Madison, do not sleep on the bottom third of the order for Texas A&M. Dement, Allen, and Vrajel are a combined 10 for 25 in this regional. Here is KK Dement, the shortstop. She puts a charge in 1, left center field, and it is off the wall. Digging for third is Mathis, held there. It's a long single for Dement, her 6th hit of the regional.
KK Dement has just been unstoppable this weekend. She looks for a drop ball that's up in the zone. We talked about that, eliminating the bottom part of the zone, forcing the pitchers to bring it up towards the top, and she capitalizes on the very first pitch that she sees. She drives it all the way out to that center field wall. Kelsey Mathis is able to make it all the way over to third base.
Update, bottom third of the order now hitting .423 in the regional for Texas A&M, and here's the number 8 hitter, Paisley Allen.
I'd say that's getting pretty good production from the bottom half of your order.
Allen, the sophomore left fielder, had a home run against UConn in that elimination game last night. And time is called. Going to be a couple of conversations going on here. Pitching coach for Arizona State is John Barkfeld. He'll go out and chat with the battery.
Coach Haley Decker is coming out to have a chat with her defense, too. So a couple of different conversations going on. Coach Barkfeld probably talking to Mika Lupi here about just bringing that drop ball back down in the zone. And Coach Haley Decker trying to strategize about where they want to place the defense now with the bottom half of the order coming up. You'll see coaches do this too to try to slow down momentum on the other side, along with the strategy that they're getting out there too, but also to try to almost ice the other team in moments like this.
Mathis and Dement back-to-back singles with 2 down here in the second, with A&M playing on their home field, but they're designated as the visiting team here in this matchup in Game 6 in the College Station Regional. Good pitch by Lupi, swing and a miss for a strike, and it's 1-1.
Pumping that pitch in at 71 miles per hour. She did say after day one that she will turn around and look at that scoreboard every once in a while to see what her velocity is at.
Back up the middle, a base hit. Texas A&M is on the board. Paisley Allen, her 4th hit of the regional. And if you haven't seen a game here at College Station, that's when they bring the bubbles out to celebrate a run crossing the plate, 2-1.
I tell you what, Eric, this bottom half of the Texas A&M order is putting on an absolute clinic of stacking together quality at-bats and quality swings one after another. Paisley Allen, after swinging and missing at a 71-mile-per-hour drop ball on the outer half, gets another pitch. She makes the adjustment and drives it straight back up the middle to get the Aggies on the board.
Texas A&M's been very good hitting with 2 outs. They had 10 runs with 2 down in that 13-run second inning against UConn in Game 1. 15 for 32 at the plate with 2 outs for the Aggies. 2-out hit for Allen, getting her 27th RBI of the season. Here's the number 9 hitter, Frankie Vrajel. Vrajel 324 on the season, 2 for 7 with a couple of walks in the regional. Three straight hits, Mathis, Dement, and Allen, 6, 7, and 8 in the lineup. The 0-2 from Lupi. 1-2. Called strike 3. Lupi gets the call. That's her second strikeout. Texas A&M gets on the board. It's 2-1 after 1.5 here in College Station.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis? With fewer symptoms from moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, where would you go? Imagine being a million miles away. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. And for adults with active psoriatic arthritis, Tremfya goes beyond the skin. Less joint pain, stiffness, and swelling is possible. And Tremfya even reduced fatigue. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Ask your doctor about Tremfya.
Where are the hardest arenas to play?
The altitude in Denver is no joke.
Playing in Denver, you're like, New York, welcome to the pressure cooker.
The intersection of history, TD Garden in Boston.
Might be the loudest arena I've ever stepped footed in my entire life.
They were always smiling and happy.
Just seemed like this was the one.
Then things took a turn for the worse. He was not who he said he was.
But he'd kill her.
Who is this man I'm married to?
This is betrayal.
Tonight on ABC and stream on Disney Plus and Hulu.
There is nothing like the Women's College World Series.
Four teams have taken a step closer to the Women's College World Series. Alabama, Texas, Florida, and Georgia all winning their regional championship games today, so they advance on to next week's Super Regional round. New pitcher for Texas A&M. I'm sorry, Matt.
By the end of today, we'll figure out what those Super Regional matchups are going to be, and both of these teams today are hoping to advance on to next weekend, but just shows you the sense of urgency that Coach Tricia Ford has in this ball game, too. After one inning in Arizona State putting up 2 runs, she's already making a pitching change, bringing out Kate Munnerlyn, the sophomore. You're going to see her hardest pitches come in the mid-60s, but there's that changeup. That is her bread and butter. She will throw it back-to-back. She will throw it early. She will throw it often. So Arizona State has to be ready for that off-speed pitch.
Munnerlyn pitched 2 innings against UConn last night. Gave up 2 hits, no runs, struck out 3. Little bloop off the bag at second. Perfectly placed by Brooklyn Ulrich for a leadoff single.
Eric, those are swings that sometimes you like to joke with your teammates. Yes, I planned that the entire time. And even Talon Edwards is smiling about it over at second base. There is just nothing that you can do when it hits the corner of the base. And KK Dement was ready for it, ready for the bounce, but nobody could predict that it was going to hit off of the corner of the base.
So Brooklyn has a leadoff single. That is the 5th hit for Arizona State against Texas A&M pitching so far. And here's the number 9 hitter, Tiade Hoche, swinging away, fouls it up for strike 1. Sophomore showed some power earlier in this tournament. She hit 2 home runs in 1 game, giving her 5 on the season, rather. Mentioned before, Arizona State with 6 home runs in this regional through the first 2 games. Chopped at the plate. This is going to be trouble. No one at first. Little breakdown defensively for Texas A&M, and everybody safe.
The first base hit off of the base, there's nothing you can control with that one, but this one comes down to the miscommunication between Michaela Work over at first base and Talon Edwards. This is Talon Edwards' ball all the way, but as soon as that ground ball gets past Work at first base, she has to immediately go back to the base to cover, to be there for when Talon Edwards went to throw the ball, but because nobody was there, Talon had to hang on to it, and now 2 runners on board, and that'll flip up to the top of the lineup.
A couple of infield singles, and here's Tanya Wendell, who singled her first time and scored last inning. Tanya with a 10-game on-base streak. Reached base against Texas A&M yesterday when she was hit by a pitch. Came around to score. She scored 3 runs in the regional. She's someone who has battled injury this year, missed 21 games after making a diving attempt in the outfield against UNLV. Tapped down in front of the plate. That's fair ball. It's a productive out for Wendell as both runners advance 1 away. 1 down here in the second. 16 regional sites from coast to coast, and 7 innings live has you covered at each and every site. Alyssa Lang, Tori Vidalis, Tara Henry are in studio all day today. Check them out on the ESPN app. They'll have the very latest on each and every game, details on what happens in every regional and what's next for the teams that win their regionals today.
Sure, you can hear it from the crowd not exactly thrilled when Arizona State is calling timeout down there on the field. It's already getting a little competitive. Love those vibes, though. I'm all about it. It's an elimination game. You've got to have all hands on deck, and for Texas A&M, 12th man on deck.
I must say, if the 12th man thinks they're going to intimidate Arizona State here today, they have to remember that Arizona State has to go to Tucson.
Yeah, they have to go play at Arizona. They are used to it. They are used to rowdy fans. Kind of got the sense that this could be a team that might embrace this type of atmosphere.
Perhaps. Kaylee Pond checked her swing. So says the third base umpire Mike Thibodeau on the appeal. Second and third with 1 down.
Infield playing in with the runner over at third base, especially those middle infielders, trying to cut down that run from scoring on a ground ball to the infield.
Spins it in there for a strike. 3-1. Kaylee Pond's been on base 7 times in the first 3 games of this regional. Looper out into shallow left. That's going to drop down for a base hit. 1 run is in. Arizona State has placed some perfect base hits here to go on top 3-1.
You just put the ball in play and try to force something to happen. Kate Munnerlyn coming back in. Another one of those changeups that's diving down and away from Kaylee Pond. So she doesn't get all of this. She gets right underneath that softball, but she gets enough to drop it over the head of KK DeMen and right in front of Paisley Allen out there in left field.
Here's Samantha Swan, RBI single her first time. Ball 1. 7 hits already for the Sun Devils. Hitting .328 on the season, .333 in this regional, but piling up the hits so far here in this Game 6.
We have seen a couple of hard hit balls off of the bats of these Arizona State Sun Devils, but we also have had some that have blooped in, or in my scorebook, I've got the 1B off of 2B for Brooklyn Ulrich. I don't know if that's official,
How could you fit
but
that much information on that little square in your scorebook?
You'd be surprised.
Fouled off at the plate. It's 1-2 to Swan. Kate Munnerlyn, the sophomore from Los Gatos, California. Swan puts a charge into one to right field, and it's off the wall. 1 run is in, 2nd run being held at 3rd, so 1 run across, and Samantha Swan has another RBI, and it's another run for the Sun Devils. 4-1.
She got a really good piece of the changeup in her first at-bat. This time, Kate Munnerlyn, the lefty, goes with the rise ball up and away, and you can see how Samantha Swan just takes her hands straight to this pitch. There's not a ton of movement in her swing, but that's where her background and her strength comes into play. She doesn't need a bunch of extra movement. She is so good at getting that barrel to those pitches at the top part of the zone, and she drives that one out into the right center gap. And this Arizona State offense is just rolling right now. Doesn't matter if they hit it 70 miles per hour off of the bat or 30 miles per hour off of the bat. They are putting the ball in play.
Strike 1 to Emily Shep. Popped out to Powell at 3rd, her first time. Shep's had an outstanding postseason. She was 5 for 9 with a couple of home runs in the 3 games in the Big 12 tournament in Oklahoma City. She's kept it going here in College Station. 1-1. In there for a strike, it's 1-2. Back up the middle, glove by Munnerlyn, comes to the plate. The tag is missed. What a slide by Pond to get in there safely for another Sun Devils run.
Eric, I'm sitting here waiting to see if we're going to get a video review on this play at the plate, because it looked like the throw beat Kaylee Pond to the plate. Let's take another look at it here. Does she avoid the tag? So hard to tell. It's the swim move. She reaches around with the left hand. Let's see from this angle.
There was no protest from the catcher Kowalewski, and maybe that's the cue that the A&M dugout is reading before calling for a challenge. How about this athletic move from a player who missed 2 full seasons because of injuries, multiple knee surgeries in her career, but she didn't forget how to make an elite slide to avoid a tag and score another run for Arizona State.
Eric, we've seen a couple of different views. I think she completely avoided that tag. Now, Coach Ford is having a quick conversation, but I did not see any contact made by Ariel Kowalewski on that dive. She's even still talking about it. She can't believe it. She's telling her teammates, I pulled the left hand back, I went in with the right hand, smooth move.
She doesn't even realize she still has her helmet on. She's still locked in the moment. Arizona State fans love it. What's not to love? Great effort by Pond. Swing and a miss by Chester. So it's a fielder's choice and an RBI for Shep. Swan's over at third as Pond scores the 3rd run of the inning. Big cut, 0-2. One thing, you referenced it earlier, Madison, about talking to Megan Bartlett before the game, and we were down by the dugout. The team was loose, and she thought maybe they were a little tight yesterday. They feel like a loose group. There's no anxiety. There's no tightness right now, and they are playing to end it right now. They're just making winning plays. They're putting the ball in play. They're making A&M feel that pressure a little bit more.
Well, you just said it. They're playing to win. The way that Arizona State has come out and played this weekend, and even going back to the Big 12 tournament, they're playing to win, not playing not to lose. That makes sense. It's 2 different mentalities. If you're going out there playing not to lose versus going out there and playing to win. And to me, Arizona State is embodying what it means to go out there and play to win.
Fouled off. Sometimes in this situation, in a double elimination tournament, when you're 2-0, you know you have in that back pocket, well, even if we don't win this game, we could bring out Kenzie Brown for the next game, but you don't want to get to that point, and that's the way they're playing.
Absolutely. You are focusing.
Yeah,
you're focusing on this game, and because Arizona State is also very well aware of the offense that Texas A&M has, and they know that if they give them any sort of momentum, any sort of energy, they're going to put up some runs.
Oh, no.
Kaylee Pond still telling the story about the amazing slide she made.
As she should. We're still going to be talking about it up here for a while.
Kaylee had the big hit yesterday in the 7th inning to put Arizona State in front against Texas A&M. 2-2 to Chester. .26 pitches in the heat in relief for Munnerlyn this inning. 3-2. Eighth pitch of the at-bat. Coming to Chester. Popped up. Shallow right field. Vrajol coming on. Going out is Edwards at second. And the throw to the plate is blocked by Kowalewski. Good heads-up base running by Shep as the ball got away. So she'll move the second, but Swan holds at third.
Well, we were just talking about Kaylee Pond in that great dive at the plate, and she's still talking about it over there with their teammates. I think they're trying to cool her off with some cool towels, but I want you to watch her reaction here. It looks like she thinks that she's going to be called out. She's saying challenge it. And then all of a sudden, it was Josh Bloomer over in the third base coach's box that's saying, no, you were called safe on that slide. We don't need to challenge it.
We don't want to challenge a safe call. We like what the call was. Grounded to the right side, gloved by Wark. It's fair ball, and that will do it. But the Sun Devils add 3 runs in the second. They are on top 5-1 after 2 here at Texas A&M. We'll return with more softball after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
ProEnamel, clinical enamel strength, can help us to keep our enamel for a lifetime. It's backed by science. It is clinically proven to strengthen our teeth. I would recommend this toothpaste to everybody. It's really an amazing product.
$10 for a large, $10 for any 3 toppings, $10 for your choice of hot crust. Like our new garlic parm hand tossed. Because there's crust, and then there's Hut Crust. The crust you crave, only $10. Order in the Pizza Hut app.
When people are betting on you, every pass, every shot, it's not just the coach in your ear. It's the comment sections, the DMs, the losers who make threats and harass you. But this isn't their game to play, it's yours. The NCAA is drawing the line, educating about the dangers of sports betting, tracking online threats, and protecting the integrity of the game. See all the ways the NCAA puts student athletes first.
The Women's College World Series returns to Oklahoma City. The action begins Thursday, May 28th at noon Eastern, live on ESPN. For more information on the 2026 Women's College World Series, visit NCAA.com, the home for all NCAA championships. Winner of this regional will head to Austin. Texas took care of Baylor today, 7-0. Tegan Kavan, the Texas ace, with a 3-hit shutout. So it will be Texas against either A&M or Arizona State in the best-of-3 super regional round.
Speaking of red-hot offenses, Katie Stewart hit 2 home runs for Texas today. Caden Henry went yard today. Reese Atwood went yard today. We saw this from Texas last season, too, heating up towards the end of the year. And then went on to win a national championship,
Defending
of course.
national champs, taking the first step towards defending their title. Pitching change for Arizona State. Aisa Silva, the senior from Tucson, in the circle.
This was a similar combo that we saw from Coach Megan Bartlett and Arizona State in the Big 12 tournament when they were facing Oklahoma State. It was Mika Lupi getting the start and then Aisa Silva coming on in relief. She ended up throwing 2 2/3 innings in that game against the Cowgirls. Did give up 1 earned run, but the combination of going from a right-handed pitcher that's going to throw 70 miles per hour, 71 down in the zone, and then bringing in a lefty who's still going to pump it in with some pretty good velocity in the mid-60s, but it's a completely different game plan for these Aggies batters.
Kennedy Powell with a 4-pitch walk to start things for Texas A&M here in the third. Kenzie Brown is in the bullpen for Arizona State, the ace of the staff. As Madison mentioned, it was the Lupi-Silva combo in the semifinal win over Oklahoma State that bought Brown that extra day to play and pitch in the championship game against Texas Tech when she was dynamite against the regular season champs, the Red Raiders. Be interesting to see how Megan Bartlett plays it here with a 4-run lead as Talon Edwards steps in. Flight out to left her first time. Takes a ball. The 12th man will get a loud call here with the 5 consecutive balls thrown. Now they're saying ball 6.
Now we've seen this throughout this weekend too. At times catchers will call time to go out there and thinking that they might ice the crowd and see if they're going to stop at this point, but we know better. The 12th man is not going to stop that chant. It did look like I saw a bit of a smile on Samantha Swan's face, though. She did say that she reads her pitchers. She wants to know what they need in certain moments, so maybe there was a bit of a joke out there just to kind of calm things down a bit.
They're going to get a little louder. I don't need to tell you, 6 straight balls thrown by Aisa Silva. That won't quiet the crowd. A little sarcastic cheer. 2-1 the count to Edwards. Senior from Tucson brings the 2-1. That spins in for a strike, and it's 2-2.
Little off speed there coming in at 54 miles per hour. That off speed, bit of upspin to it too. Don't think Talon Edwards likes that call up in the zone. And now she's going to have to battle with 2 strikes. You'll see her widen out her stance a bit to try to eliminate that movement in her swing.
Skipped up, there goes the runner. The throw ends up in center field. Powell will hold at second. Safe with the stolen base. Her 18th of the season in 21 attempts.
Looked like maybe that throw was just a little bit low, but Kennedy Powell has some great speed and gets a great jump off of first base too. I like the aggressiveness in that situation. You go ahead and go for it. She ends up being safe. Thought about taking off towards third, but decided it's the right move to go ahead and stay at second.
3-2 to Edwards, who is 2 for 10 in the regional. Misses for ball 4. Back-to-back walks issued by Silva. There are 3 straight left-handed hitters at the top of the lineup for Arizona State. Pitching coach is going to come out. Josh Barkfeld. I think they're going to make the move right now. Kenzie Brown just got the single from Megan Bartlett, and the ace is going to come into the game.
I think I just saw Kenzie Brown give the thumbs up all the way from the bullpen, and here she comes out from that right field dugout in that bullpen. One of the best strikeout arms. A couple of Aggies on base.
A lead for Arizona State here in the third, but Texas A&M threatening.
My granddaddy farmed this land, my daddy farmed this land, and now I'm farming it too.
She will do a wonderful job.
This has every single crop Daddy's ever planted in it. I uploaded it to ChatGPT.
It looks like the part number is AH20360.
Can you generate a report for how much water we've used?
Absolutely, I can put together a detailed report.
My family's been doing this for over 100 years. I don't want to be the one to mess it up.
You won't. You're too thorough.
Like you. Like you.
Welcome back to Papa John's. I'm hand stuffing this mozzarella to make our epic stuffed crust pizza.
Epic.
Epic. Hey. We're making you an epic stuffed crust pizza for $13.99.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
His sneezes bless you.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends.
Time for the ace for Arizona State to step into the circle. The 5th-year senior from Lake City, Illinois, Kenzie Brown.
Coming in a tough situation, too. You are facing the 3-4 batters in this Texas A&M offense, but she has some of the best numbers across the country. Comes into this game with 244 strikeouts on the season because of her ability to work every single quadrant of the strike zone. Her rise ball is her go-to pitch. That's where she's going to get a lot of her swings and misses, but she's going to work her pitches down in the zone with the drop. Work arm side with the screwball. She has a curveball, and she's going to mix speeds with that changeup. So she is constantly disrupting the hitter's timing all over the place with her different spins, different movements, and of course, different speeds.
Brown missed the 2024 season due to injury. She bounced back last year, was 4th in Division I with 289 strikeouts. And Brown has been excellent this year. First team all-conference selection in the Big 12. And she steps onto the field in a tough spot, but her team on top 5-1, 2 runners on for Texas A&M. 244 strikeouts for Kenzie Brown this year. Against A&M yesterday, went the distance, gave up 4 hits, 2 earned runs, struck out 6. And she'll face Maya Perez with 2 on. Strike 1. Perez struck out in the first against Michelupi, who threw the first 2 innings. Pulls the string, swing and a miss, 0-2.
There's that changeup. It is so difficult to pick up out of the hand because of the spin that she's able to get on that off-speed pitch. You could tell by Maya Perez, she did not see that changeup out of the hand by how far out in front she was.
The 0-2. Out of play. Swung on and missed. Brown gets the strikeout. 1 down.
She's going to go ahead and continue to add to that strikeout total. Now 245 strikeouts on the season, and this time it's against one of the best hitters in the country in Maya Perez. She started her off with pitches with a little bit more upspin, went down with the changeup, comes back with the drop ball that has that downward movement on it to get the swing and miss.
Here's Michaela Work. Ball 1. Work hit the 2-run home run yesterday against Kenzie Brown to put Texas A&M in front in the first.
An interesting piece of that at bat too. Right before Michaela Work had hit that home run, Kenzie Brown was actually called for an illegal pitch, and Coach Megan Bartlett told us that was the first time all season long that Kenzie had been called for the illegal pitch. She strided too far out of that pitching lane with that left foot, and it was called an illegal pitch. So instead of it being a 1-1 count, it ended up being a 2-0 count for Michaela Work, and she capitalized on it. The very next pitch, she drove out of the ballpark for a 2-run home run.
The line right now to Brown's left that she crossed over. Popped up, looks to be playable for Chester. Now drifting back, the wind carried it back into fair territory, and Powell gets back to the bag. 2 down. But here is the top run producer for Texas A&M in this regional.
Hit a grand slam against UConn. She was all over this one. Really quick swing. She has been swinging it so well in the postseason. She has been a big piece of this Texas A&M offense, and you know the Aggies would love to see another one of those home runs off of the bat of Ariel Kowalewski here.
Ball 1 to the sophomore catcher, who grounded to first her first time. Kowalewski kept it going last night against UConn, 3 for 4 with a home run, a couple of RBI, 6 for 9 in the tournament entering play today. One. Fly ball to center field. Coming on is the center fielder, Pond. She has it. And A&M does not score in the third after back-to-back walks to start the inning. Kenzie Brown comes in and gets the job done.
I'm always one step ahead. One step ahead on the field, and one step ahead with my oral health by preventing problems before they start with Colgate Total. I'm even one step ahead by pre-recording this voiceover since I knew I'd be mid-brush. Stay one step ahead with Colgate Total.
As a sports journalist, I'm always checking the latest scores. As for my FICO score, I keep an eye on that with the Experian app. My days are busy. Sometimes I need a boost. And for my credit scores, I use Experian Boost to raise them instantly. People try to steal my look, but my identity, good luck. I've got real-time credit monitoring alerts from Experian. When the lights come on, I'm ready, thanks to Experian.
Marines are made for this. Made for the calling only warriors can answer. Made from an unshakable belief in our nation and a strength that comes from the determination to win together. But you'll have to earn your place among us, because you don't join the Marines. You become one.
Popeye's wraps are back. That crunchy tender with pickles, lettuce, and cheese, all wrapped in our buttermilk tortilla and bursting with bold Louisiana flavor for just $3.99. Pick them up today.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Ready for a little history lesson? Here's Professor Shipman.
Well, it was Arizona State winning the national championship back in 2008 against Texas A&M. Katie Burkhardt getting the start in the circle. The lefty, she ended up with 13 strikeouts against the Aggies. And they went on to win the national championship in 2008 and then won it again in 2011 with Dallas Escobedo out there in the circle. And Dallas was just a freshman in 2011, so a couple of national championships for the Arizona State program.
Trying to make it to the super regional round for the first time since 2022. A win here today would make it the 11th appearance in the supers. If you're a little new to softball, we started with 64 teams at 16 sites, 4 teams at each site. At the end of today, we'll be down to 16 teams. Those 16 teams will be sent to 8 sites, 8 series, best 2 out of 3, and those 8 winners in the super regional round will go on to Oklahoma City in the Women's College World Series.
Everybody wants to make it to OKC. They want a chance to win a national title. I think that's one of the fun parts about this year too, Eric, and I know we've talked about it a ton, is you think about all the different teams that we think of could have a chance to win a national championship, and that list, at least in my mind, is very lengthy, and it changes every single day depending on who is playing.
Yaya Acuna leading things off. (5-1) Arizona State's strike from Munnerlyn. It's 2-1. Well, you played in the Women's College World Series for the University of Tennessee. The season is so long. The first week of games is February. Just think about how tiring it is. Another hit for Arizona State. That's number 9. When you get to this time of year, it's the middle of May. Where do you find that little extra reserve, that energy? Because it's just game after game, practice after practice, but that adrenaline kicks in about this point.
It's the idea of being the team that hoists up the championship and holds up that trophy at the end of the year. That is what drives each and one of these individual athletes. And it was even Coach Tricia Ford talking about this yesterday. She said, it's May, everybody has fatigue. Everybody is feeling the same at this point in the season, but who can reach down just a little bit deeper to come out with the clutch pitch that you need in a moment, to make a great play, or to be able to be that batter that comes through with the timely piece of hitting that you need. That's what it comes down to when it comes time to postseason. Who can shut out all of the outside noise and go out there and execute? I also feel like I should mention we lost to Oklahoma in 2013 in that national championship series, and I feel similar to Coach Ford, where I'm never going to let that one go. That one's going to hang with me for a long time.
I didn't bring it up because you always do.
I think there are a lot of people listening out there that would say differently.
Well, first of all, there's no shame in losing to Oklahoma because there's a long line of teams that have done that in Oklahoma City.
Did have a couple of former Oklahoma national champions here at this regional too on the coaching staffs for some of the teams.
Ulrich tried to check, could not. Called out at the plate for the swing, 1 down.
That is the first strikeout so far today for the Arizona State offense. Kate Munnerlyn still grinding away out there, doing whatever she can to just try to get some outs. I think she's at a point too where you can't necessarily look for the strikeouts. You just got to try to see if you can get Arizona State to hit the ball on the ground to your defense.
Fly ball to left. Ho Ching is retired on 1 pitch. 2 down. You know, you just mentioned a moment ago the number of teams who truly believe they have a shot to win it all, and who the experts could all say, yeah, that team could win it all. Alabama was the #1 overall seed. They just won at the Rhodes House, so they'll move on to the super regional round. We talked about Texas knocking off Baylor, the #2 seed, the defending national champions. Strike one to Tanya Windle with 2 down. Florida looked impressive playing in Gainesville. They move on to the super regionals for a 17th time. They'll play the Lubbock regional winner. That Texas Tech comeback against Ole Miss will be something that's talked about for years and years. Fouled off by Windle.
Put up 8 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning with 2 outs.
Then fell behind in the 8th and scored 2 runs in the 8th to win.
Grand slam off of the bat of Lauren Allred in the middle of that bottom of the 7th inning, too.
Oh-2, ground ball to the right side. Glove by Work, she's got it, and that will do it for Arizona State. Tricia Ford, who coached this Texas A&M team to the Women's College World Series a couple of years ago, will join us for a quick conversation when we come back.
And since you bundled home and auto with 24/7 protection, you can hand all the worry over to us.
That's right. At Progressive, it's our job to do the worrying for you.
This candle, for example, awfully close to the curtains.
And when was this porch built? Did they have building codes back then?
Are your headlights too bright?
Do people know when you're texting them from the toilet?
How many spiders do you really eat in your sleep?
Yes, when you bundle home and auto, you can be free of all these worries and more, because we're already worrying for you. Oh, and the answer is 8. 8 spiders.
Rich, smooth, creamy Haagen-Dazs. Take your sweet time. That's Daz.
He's a man with a list. In a race against time.
Do you have it?
Things are complicated.
Complicated.
And he's not stopping.
They tell me you're the man to talk to about
cannoli. Until they're all crossed out. John Krasinski is...
Oh, shopping. Just shopping.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid.
Welcome back to the NCAA Softball Regionals presented by Capital One. We're in College Station, Texas. 5-1, Arizona State on top of Texas A&M, joined now by the Texas A&M head coach Tricia Ford. Tricia, momentum's a funny thing. You'd love to catch a little right now. We saw a little bit of it last night. What's it going to take for your team to grab a little of that here against Arizona State right now?
Yeah, I think we just got to keep battling. I mean, we've had a lot of bad luck, as those that have been watching, right? That second inning was a little, I don't know that I've seen anything like it. So we just got to keep chipping away.
Coach, we keep talking about how the bottom part of your lineup has had a great weekend. What do you want to continue to see from them and hopefully see from the rest of your offense?
Yeah, I just think, again, just putting together good at-bats, just passing the bat from one player to the next.
Tricia, we appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Thanks so much. Gig 'em.
Coach.
Tricia Ford, the former Arizona State head coach, left Tempe to come here to College Station after success in the desert. Coming here to the humidity.
I think she's alluding to the 1B off of 2B that I have written down in my scorebook with a little bit of bad luck.
There were a few hard hit balls, and there were a few balls that were hit in the exact spot they needed to be hit and dropped in, and including one that went off the bat of Brooklyn Ulrich. Kelsey Mathis singled and scored the A&M run in the second. One. Top of the fourth here in College Station. Texas A&M needs a win to force a 7th and final game here in the College Station Regional. If Arizona State wins, regional is over, and they will head home before heading to Texas to take on the Texas Longhorns. 2-1 from Kenzie Brown. Leadoff single for Mathis, her second hit of the game.
See the emotion from Kelsey Mathis as she's over there at first base, looking back to her dugout, trying to fire them up. A leadoff hit from her and a really good piece on this ball back up the middle. We've talked about it. Kenzie Brown is one of the toughest pitchers to hit against. But when you're able to connect, you can use that velocity on her pitches to your advantage.
KK Dement singled her first time. Strike one. Dement 6 for 11 in the regional. That average creeping closer to 300 on the season. Late on that cut, it's 0-2. The 0-2.
KK Dement had said, too, that after losing in the SEC tournament, they lost the first and only game that they played to Auburn. They ended up giving up 5 home runs to Auburn, lost 11-8. Nobody wants to lose, but she said she was able to take advantage of that practice time heading into the regionals.
Kenzie Brown pulls the string, gets the strikeout, her second. One down.
Saw KK Dement take a couple of cuts at different pitches in that at-bat, swung at a rise ball up, swung at a drop ball down, and after that last foul off, Kenzie Brown comes back with the off-speed pitch. Just when you think you're starting to get on top of the velocity, that's when she pulls the string on that nasty pitch.
One down for Paisley Allen. She sends a single to center. The bottom third of the order stays hot for A&M. Allen is 2 for 2 today.
Really aggressive swings, too, that you're seeing from the bottom of the order. They're not waiting around, not waiting for the perfect pitch. Even on that strikeout by KK Dement, she swung early in the count. They know that a pitcher's mentality is to try to get ahead early. They want to throw first pitch strikes, and they are ready if Kenzie Brown brings it in there.
Bottom three are now 13 for 30 here in the College Station Regional. Rajal fouls it off. Texas A&M has 5 hits, Madison. They've come from 6 through 9 in the lineup. 1 through 5 hitless so far. Powell and Edwards, a couple of walks. The only 2 of the top 5 so far, twice through the lineup, that have been on base. Rajal fouls it off. Texas A&M team that put 17 runs on the board in 5 innings in the regional opener against UConn. Sent 19 hitters to the plate in the second inning, scoring 13 runs. Trying to find that spark here in this elimination game. 1-2.
In that first game you were mentioning, Eric, you look at the way that A&M was able to lengthen out the lineup and the power that they have top to bottom. The 3-spot, 4-spot, 5-spot, 6-spot, and 7-spot all went yard in that game against UConn.
Skipped up there for a ball. It's 2-2. Grounded to the right side. The flip to second for 1 as Ho-Ching feeds it to Ulrich. First and third for A&M with 2 down here in the 4th.
Still a productive out by Frankie Brajal, just being able to pull that ball to the right side, so it gives Kelsey Mathis a chance to advance to third on that ground ball to Tiade Ho-Ching over at second base. but now feels like the time where you need one of those clutch 2-out hits, especially now that Kennedy Powell is stepping back up to the plate.
Top 3 in the lineup for Texas A&M in this regional. 6 for 30, hitting 200. Powell's 3 for 12. 0 for 1 today with a walk.
Kennedy has had a really good season so far this year, and Coach Tricia Ford says that she is really good at reading the defense to decide what she wants to do when she steps into that batter's box.
Some indecision, it would appear there. It's 1-1.
It can be tough, too, when you're slapping through the box when the pitchers throw those changeups, because you have to slow your feet down even more. She already moves pretty slow through the box, but you almost have to slow it down even further for Kennedy Powell.
1-2, and Powell showing some frustration after back-to-back swings and misses. First and third, 2 down. The 1-2 pitch from Kenzie Brown. Grounded, gloved at first by Chester. Good play, and that will do it for the Aggies in the 4th. We will talk with the Arizona State head coach, Megan Bartlett, with her team on top 5-1 after 3.5.
You deserve wings. For making it to the weekend, or just making it to Wednesday. Because when it's made to order, always fresh. Wing night is whenever you say it is. Wingstop is here.
New Snackables by Lunchables just dropped. Made with natural cheese. The snack game just leveled up. Mini and poppable. Step up your snack. New Snackables by Lunchables.
All right, you're all set.
Thanks, Ted.
Oh, check it out.
Oh, man. I think he's gonna do it.
This might be a good moment to share.
Ma, you seeing this?
Hey, baby, I'm here. Is he gonna dunk it?
No way.
When the connection matters, it has to be AT&T.
Bro, no charge call?
Your defense is trash, Ted.
Get home internet from AT&T. Now available across the nation.
For over 100 years, the NCAA has supported student-athletes competing and going to college. And now, the NCAA and its schools provide healthcare coverage, mental health services, scholarship guarantees, and more. And scholarships have grown. The NCAA is a launching point, a leg up, and a spot to land. See all the ways the NCAA puts student-athletes first.
Big 12 tournament champs know how to make championship plays, and if you want to advance into the NCAA tournament super regional round, you have to make plays like Kaylee Pond did with the remarkable slide at home. She was safe, and we're joined now by our head coach, Megan Bartlett, who had a front row seat for that slide. So Megan, give us your analysis of what Pond did for you.
That kid she's crazy. She's got such a high game IQ. She knows how to manipulate her body. She's got great timing, and she wants to coach. So everybody out there, she's going to be a really good one day. Yeah.
Coach, you guys are going through the offense for the 3rd time through the order. They came out swinging, and you said that they were feeling good over in there, that dugout. What are they executing well up at the plate?
Ooh, pitches they can handle, and we're certainly getting a little help from the softball gods right now. So not going to complain about that. But we got to keep putting pressure. This is a very good ball club.
Yeah, you admitted to it. We've seen it, but take advantage of it, and you have done that. Megan, we appreciate it so much. Thanks.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you, Coach.
Had a couple of hits, just find open spots in the field. We had a hit go right off the bag at second base. But that Pond slide, that was high IQ. That was well executed.
No luck on that. That was all skill, all athleticism for her to be able to recognize that and kind of pull her left arm back, reach around with the other arm.
Takes ball 1. Kaylee 2 for 2 today, doubled and scored in the first, singled in a run and scored in the second. We talked about Kaylee's journey to this point, the 6th-year senior from Lafayette, California, played at Cal the last 2 seasons, missed 2 seasons with injury at Iowa State, also at Cal. Hit .310 a season ago with 5 home runs. Has upped her numbers with 15 home runs and currently hitting .350 on the season. Tapped foul. Future coach, 2nd team All Big 12 selection. Grounded to the right side. Edwards on the first, 1 down. I'd be very disappointed if on day 1 of her first day as a head coach, wherever she ends up, that the first instruction is how to do the swim slide at home. Hey, I've got this video here, everybody. Watch me in the NCAA tournament from 2026.
See, I can already picture the players that she's coaching saying, please, coach, go out there and demonstrate for us in real time. We want to see that in person.
The eye rolls, like, oh, again, coach. We were all watching. Here's Samantha Swan.
Coach Bartlett did tell us, though, that she wouldn't be surprised if there are a bunch of future coaches on this team just because of the way that they take in information, especially from Coach Josh Bloomer and the hitting strategy side of things and game planning.
Swan with the pop-up. Edwards, second baseman, calls for it. 2 down.
Such a big piece of the game, too, when you're facing teams that have 5, 6, 7 different arms, to be able to switch game plans in a hurry and to be able to prepare for a bunch of different looks out there in the circle. Even when you're facing a team like Arizona State, we've already seen 3 different arms in the circle between Kenzie Brown, Mika Lupi, and Aisa Silva. Josh Bloomer over there in that third base coach's box.
Ball 1 to Emily Shep, who's 0 for 2 today with an RBI. Sun Devils went 0-2 in this round of the NCAA tournament a season ago. They were at the UCLA Regional. Lost to San Diego State 3-2, UCSB 4-3. A couple of heartbreaking defeats, but they've taken the next step this year, going 2-0 thus far in the regional round. Trying to end it in this game right here and move on to the Super Regionals against Texas. Two and 1 the count to Shep, the cleanup hitter for the Sun Devils. 2-2. Five in a row retired by Kate Munnerlin. Texas A&M needs a win to keep their season going. Arizona State's 2-0 in this regional. Can end the regional with a win. Sydney Peters got the start. Munnerlin in relief. Arizona State has used 3 pitchers. Lupi, Silva, and now Kenzie Brown, their ace. 3-2. Popped up. They'll head back into the seats and out of play.
By the reaction there, I think we got a really nice catch in the crowd. I did not see it in real time, but I did see all of the cheers.
Once again, reading your context clues, I'll say yes, a good catch is made by a fan.
You know, I have a tendency to do that.
Another 3-2 to Shep. Headed towards foul ground, may blow it back to fair territory. Talon Edwards makes the catch. Rajal's glove went flying. Everybody looks to be okay. And that will do it for Arizona State.
What a catch by Talon Edwards. She had to run all the way out to right field. Had a couple of teammates there too, but she was determined. She was making this catch. Not even a right fielder was getting in the way of that one.
We'll be back with more softball after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
If your child has moderate to severe eczema, they can stay ahead of it with Dupixent for clearer skin and noticeably less itch. Severe allergic reactions, including skin reactions, can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor right away of new or worsening eye problems like eye pain or vision changes, skin symptoms, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop other treatments without talking to your doctor. Ask your child's doctor about Dupixent, approved to treat kids as young as 6 months.
While our nation's best are giving their blood, sweat, and tears on the pitch, we'll be sweating right along with them. Michelob Ultra. Superior is brewed here.
There are 16 regional sites. We have 5 regional champions: Florida, Georgia, Texas, Alabama, Arkansas, all moving on to the super regional rounds. Game 1 of the best of 3s will either start Thursday or Friday. It will all be determined after play today.
I know we're all looking forward to next weekend to see how those super regionals end up playing out. We got a great game going for us right here in College Station. Some really good performances, too, by all of those teams. Alabama ended up giving the freshman Vic Moten the start today in the circle, and she has been fantastic for the Crimson Tide this year.
Edwards, who just made that fantastic catch to end the 4th inning, leading off the 5th.
Arkansas offense put up 10 runs against USF earlier today, had 7 extra base hits. 6 of those were doubles from the Razorbacks.
So 10-2 the final there in Fayetteville in 6 innings as the Razorbacks move on. Ground ball to second. Ho Ching on the first. 1 down here in the 5th. Alabama, #1 overall seed with win 9-0 over USC Upstate. So they'll host the Super Regional. We talked about Texas hosting the winner of this regional in the Supers. Florida swept through to the Gainesville Regional Championship. Couple of Game 7s in progress. Florida State and UCF, and Duke and Arizona. So going the distance in those 2 regions at least. Already 1 regional host was eliminated. It was Oregon, eliminated by St. Mary's. So they'll take on Mississippi State in the regional final. Arizona State, the Big 12 tournament champions. They had to act like it was the playoffs at the end of the regular season just to get into the 8-team Big 12 tournament. Big 12 trying to send a few teams on to the Supers. Texas Tech among those teams, battling Ole Miss in the regional final. 2-1 to Perez.
Kind of wild to think, though, that going into the last weekend of the regular season, they ended up playing BYU, that really they needed to go into that weekend and think about sweeping BYU to make it into that Big 12 tournament, as you mentioned, Eric, where only 8 teams, the top 8 teams in the Big 12, make it to that conference tournament. And I think it's surprising, too, for both of us, just because we've watched Arizona State play so much, and they've been playing so well here towards the end of the year. It's almost wild to think that they almost didn't make it in their conference tournament. Finished 11-13 in conference play this year, but they have been on quite the run here in the postseason.
They were swept at home in Tempe by Texas Tech, but since that point, they've won 8 in a row. 2-2 to Perez. Just got a piece. I think that's what's going to be great if you're new to softball. You're coming in at a perfect time because it does feel like there are so many teams that have a chance to win it. Arizona State is a team I would put on that list just because of the way they're playing, how good Kenzie Brown is. Can they get some support for her when it comes to arms, as we've seen from Loopy? And if they continue to have the softball gods smiling on them like they did in the second inning, that's a little bit of an intangible that you can't count on. But as Megan Bartlett told us, you take it.
Yeah, every year I feel like we look to the pitching and who are the top arms in the country and who are the arms that are throwing really well towards the end of the year. Of course, Kenzie Brown is somebody that comes to mind. As you mentioned, Mika Loopy has had some really clutch innings for Arizona State. Caitlin Terry and Nigeri Kennedy over at Texas Tech, some more dominant arms. Think about Tegan Kavan with the Texas Longhorns. Go over to Alabama, and the combo between Jocelyn Brisky and the freshman Vic Moten has been great so far this year. They've been able to get that offensive support behind the pitching in the circle.
And you could go on and on. That's what makes this weekend and next weekend so great.
Absolutely.
We don't know, but you can see a path for many teams to get to Oklahoma City. Perez launches it foul. Good battle here with Kenzie Brown. 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Perez has struck out twice today. I think Kenzie Brown's got a smile on her face. Well, she's given Maya Perez everything she's got, and Maya keeps following things off.
Just great competitors here in this matchup. These are the types of matchups that you live for in the postseason. You've got 2 different teams battling for a spot to the Super Regional, teams coming from 2 different conferences.
Slow roller to first. Brown wins the battle. Pumped up after the ground ball fielded by Chester. 2 down here in the 5th. NWSL tonight on ESPN2. Portland and Angel City going head-to-head. First kick, 6 Eastern time. Watch it live on ESPN2. You can also stream it on the ESPN app. Arizona State doing a terrific job against the top 4 in this Texas A&M lineup. Warwick, strike 1. Warwick's 0 for 2. Perez 0 for 3. Edwards 0 for 2 with a walk. Powell 0 for 2 with a walk. One and 1. Kenzie Brown went the distance yesterday against the Aggies, gave up 4 hits, 2 earned runs, struck out 6 through 93 pitches. She was pretty efficient yesterday. Popped up, good pitch, jammed her, Hoaching under it, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Kenzie Brown. Arizona State 5, Texas A&M 1 after 4.5 in College Station.
I suddenly realized that I was no longer driving it conscious, and I was in a different dimension. Just going. And I realized I was well beyond my conscious understanding. Just going.
There was a time when Burger King was king.
Spotted at a Burger King in Kalamazoo.
But somehow, somewhere, we just fell off. You called out our restaurant, service, and mistakes. Oh, and this guy. We needed to be better. And I'd know. I'm Tom, the president. So we fired the king and crowned you, reinvesting one restaurant, team, and Whopper at a time. Because there's a new king, and it's you.
Decker Investigations.
I have a job for you.
Tuesday, ABC is serving an entire night of R.J. Decker.
Como se dice possible homicide?
With 3 back-to-back episodes, it's a triple decker of America's hottest PI.
That's straight gold, son.
Jump into one of the best new shows this year.
Repeat after me, okay? Everything is gonna be...
Try not to die tonight.
I will do my best.
A triple R.J. Decker Tuesday on ABC and stream all episodes on Hulu.
The NCAA Softball Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Welcome back to Texas A&M. Eric Freed, Madison Shipman, and our crew here. First ever regional round game airing on ABC. Glad we could be a part of it, and you could all join us here
thank
today.
Thank you so much for joining us. Perfect softball weather today, and even the dogs are loving it out here in College
Gotta find
Station.
shade. Find it where you can. It's been warm here, and it's getting a little hot for Texas A&M. They are facing elimination. They need to win this game to force an if necessary game, a game 7 here later on today at Davis Diamond. If Arizona State wins, because they are 2-0 in this regional, in this double elimination format, the regional's over. They move on to the super regional round to take on Texas in Austin next weekend. Katie Chester to lead things off, 2-0 to count to the junior from Liberty, Missouri, affectionately nicknamed Cheddar. Off the end of the bat, gloved by the third baseman. Off balance throw. Did she hold her foot on the bag? I don't think she did. There's going to be a challenge coming here. Out called, and you can see quickly Haley Decker, the first base coach, and the base runner Chester indicating the foot was off the bag. They may not even need a review here. It could be that the plate umpire could come in and offer his opinion because he had a better view and a better angle. Let's see how they decide to.
Hard to tell from that angle, but she already had the ball. So the question is, was her right foot still on the base when she made that catch?
The umpires got together, and the call has been changed to safe, saying that the foot was off the bag. Now, to your point, she did have the ball pretty early. The moment she caught it and her momentum was going off, was there a moment? And we'll have to see if there's going to be any challenge here from Texas A&M, and there does not appear to be.
To your point, though, Eric, watching that in real time, I thought she was off the base by a couple of inches, but then when we were watching that replay, at least from that first view, to me it looked like she didn't come off of the base until after she already had the ball. To me, it looks like that's an out right there. It looks like her foot is on it. She clearly has the ball. Oh, there's the look right there. Now, does she have the ball? Can we go back just a little bit?
Back a little bit before that point? See, this is where we're wondering, does she have the ball there and then she's coming off?
Right.
But we're screened by the third base coach. We play on, no challenge, and it's slapped out to center field, and it'll drop in for a base hit. Yazzie Avila, who had come in defensively to play right field, gets her first plate appearance, and she wastes no time in picking up a base hit.
We know she brings a ton of energy to the team. Of course, she's going to provide a huge spark when she comes in off of the bench and drives the base hit out to center field. We do know that she has contributed to the amount of nicknames that are on this Arizona State team, and the bedazzling, too, that you're going to see on Kenzie Brown's mask when she goes back out there into the circle.
Here is Yaya Acuna looking to bunt, drops it down. It's going to spin foul. So just to put a bow on the Chester play at first. There was no video review. The umpires came together and they made the change on the field before a challenge was used by Arizona State. You are allowed 2 challenges a game. We have not seen a challenge yet today, where at video review they would send it to Pittsburgh in the replay center to decide it.
I don't know about you, but I'm a bit surprised that A&M didn't come out and try to challenge that.
There was contact with the bat after the bunt, saying she was still in the box, so it's a foul ball.
Let's see, does she make contact with this ball while she's still in the batter's box? Home plate umpire said that she did when that ball looked like it bounced back up and hit her bat, and she was out in front. Let's take another look at it here. Bounces up. Yeah, it hits her bat. She's still in the batter's box. That's a foul ball.
Pitch from Munnerlyn misses. It's 1-2 to Acuna. 1 for 2 today. Corey Schultz, pinch runner at second base, in for Chester. Arizona State could end the game here in this 5th inning. They're up by 4. If you're up by 8, after both teams have had a chance to hit the 5th inning, ball game's over. Back up the middle. Being held at third is the pinch runner Shull, and the bases are loaded with nobody out for Brooklyn Ulrich. Acuna has her second hit of the game. That's 11 hits for the Sun Devils.
It's that mentality of just pass the bat along, force the pitchers to bring something into the zone that you can hit with authority and drive it out to the outfield. It feels like we're seeing similar swings, similar at-bats, one after the other from this offense, and that's how they've been able to continue to put pressure on Texas A&M really from the beginning of this ball game.
So for the moment, it is a situation where the winning run is at the plate for Arizona State, even though we're in the 5th inning. Because grand slam here, it's 9-1, it's an 8-run lead, and that would mean the end of the game. A pitching change being made here by Texas A&M as Sydney Lessentine will come into the game for the Aggies.
In a must-win situation, you know that all hands on deck are ready to go in this ball game. Sydney Lessentine ended up getting the start in last night's game for Texas A&M, going up against UConn in that elimination game. She threw very well, ended up with 6 strikeouts last night against the UConn Huskies. And she's going to come in a tough situation here, bases loaded, nobody out, to try to get her team out of the this jam and keep this game alive.
Went 5 innings last night through 61 pitches, so she'll come on in a very challenging spot. Bases loaded, nobody out, and her team down by 4 in the 5th. Lessentine's been very busy this season. This will be her 37th appearance and her 132nd inning of work. A reminder, 7 innings live, taking care of everything on Championship Sunday in the regional round. Alyssa, Tori, Tara in studio all day on the ESPN app, taking you from site to site with analysis, reaction, interviews, previews of what's ahead for teams who win the regional round and move on to the Super Regionals. Brooklyn Ulrich, 1 for 2 with a run scored today. Bases loaded, nobody out. Ball 1 to Ulrich.
She had a big hit in the game against the Aggies in yesterday's ball game when she came up to the plate in the top of the 7th inning, had a double to get things going to start that rally. And the Sun Devils ended up coming back, scoring 2, going on to win that game. She said the adjustment came down to timing when she was talking to the media after the game yesterday. She went up there with the mindset after her first couple of at-bats and said, I was just trying to hit the ball into the ground as hard as I could, and she ended up smacking a double off the wall out in center field.
2-0 pitch. Hit deep to right center field. It is far. It is gone. It's a grand slam to send Arizona State to the Super Regionals.
From the beginning of this game, the Sun Devils were hungry. They were coming out here to win this ball game. They did not want to mess around with 2 games. They were aggressive offensively. They were aggressive in the circle, and it ends up being a game-ending grand slam off of the bat of Brooklyn Ulrich. How about this one, Eric, for Ulrich in her 9th home run of the season? She is right on the plate. Sydney Lessentine had just come into the game. She had a game plan, she executes it, and she sends the Sun Devils to Super Regionals next weekend.
Ulrich goes deep. The first home run in this game, but the 21st home run combined in this regional. A fitting end as Arizona State advances to the Super Regional round for the first time since 2022. Crushing way to end for Texas A&M and seniors like Talon Edwards, Kennedy Powell, Michaela Wark. Heartbreak on their home field for a 2nd consecutive year. And one of the hottest teams in softball turns it up a notch. The Sun Devils, winners of 9 in a row, as they move on to the Super Regional round to take on the defending national champions, Texas in Austin.
I know you and I were excited to get regionals going this weekend. Cannot wait for Super Regionals to kick off next week. What a matchup it is going to be between Arizona State and Texas. 2 teams who have fantastic arms in the circle and non-stop offenses, top to bottom. That is going to be a great showdown in Austin.
Back with more of the celebration, and we will grab Brooklyn Ulrich out of that celebration to get her thoughts after the walk-off grand slam. Kenzie Brown does well in the circle again. We'll return with more softball after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
The child could change the fate of the galaxy.
Is he ready?
He will be.
When under siege, a new hero
Good shot, baby.
will rise.
The Mandalorian will die tomorrow.
Go, now. I'll hold them off.
Star Wars: The Mandalorian and Grogu, rated PG-13, in theaters Friday.
Just gotta pay myself. Nice. Hi, I'm you, with more gusto. My hair's growing back. Team's digging the new flow. It's just me. Correction. Team of 7. We're growing, Mikey. Get payroll that grows with you. It's beautiful.
How'd you sleep? Tell you how I slept. With someone's paw on my face. I'm not gonna say whose paw. Your paw. It was your paw.
Fresh Pet. Healthy meat and veggies, no preservatives.
Wake me in an hour.
It's better food for your better half.
The 3 for Me, only at Chili's, is now available with the Big Crispy Chicken Sandwich. Wait, and it still comes with bottomless chips and salsa and a bottomless drink? Oh, fast food is not gonna like this. This Chili's 3 for Me is the best $10.99 you can eat.
Sorry, bud. Not while I weed. Hey! Who let the dogs out?
Spruce, a new weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees for dead weeds in just 1 day. Spruce, pet-friendly, weed-deadly.
The Colonel has a bucket list. The $10 one, Monday nuggets, Tuesday fried chicken, Wednesday wings, Thursday tenders, Friday nuggets again. Now that's living life to the fullest. Get a $10 bucket of the day from KFC.
Save during markdowns for miles at AutoZone. Go farther with markdowns on your next oil change. Drive clearer with markdowns on Rain-X products, and many more deals during Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Short on nothing, big on weekend. Only on Royal Caribbean.
You make me feel so miserable.
Flonase relieves your worst allergy symptoms so you can start feeling better the same day and save your relationship with nature. Flonase.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NCAA for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any picture, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NCAA consent is prohibited.
Today's Capital One rewarding performance, of course, the walk-off grand slam off the bat of Brooklyn Ulrich to end the College Station Regional in 5 innings. The regional championship goes to Arizona State, 9-1 the final in 5. And Brooklyn is standing by with the headset on with some of her close friends who have been waiting patiently. All right, your teammates are going to make sure you look great for this interview, but you already do. Brooklyn, just take us through that moment, because I know as a kid you dream of that moment. What's it like when it's reality to hit the game-winning grand slam in the NCAA tournament?
I'll be honest, I had no idea that that was the walk-off for the game. I was kind of just focused on like hitting a ball in the gap and scoring a couple runs, but wow, it's just overwhelming. I can't believe it, and I'm excited to go to Supers with this team.
Brooklyn, what were the conversations like even just coming into today's game? Because when we talked to Coach Bartlett, she said that this team is loose. They are having fun. What was it feeling like in the dugout before this game even got started?
Yeah, we talked and we said, we're not playing the second game today. We have all the confidence that we're going to go out there and play the first game. I mean, they saw 3 of our pitchers today, and we just knew that we were going to take this win.
One other moment in this game that I want to ask you about, Brooklyn. How about the swim move dive at the plate by Kaylee Pond? What were you guys all thinking in the dugout when she scored on that one?
Oh, that was awesome. Oh my gosh, we were ecstatic, especially just to get ahead even more in this ball game, and that was a game-changing play for sure.
I thought Madison was going to ask about your first hit that went off of second base. Right? I mean, you've experienced a little bit of everything here today.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Hey, I'll take a base hit where I can get a base hit. It was awesome.
This is a team that is just playing some of their best softball of the year here at the end of the year. What is the key? What do you think is driving this team through the postseason?
Oh, yeah. We all have the confidence. We're not losing. Not once have I ever thought, or anybody else on this team has thought, that we're going to lose a ball game. We just know that we're going to go out here, put it all out on the field, and play as few games as possible while also winning it all.
I don't know how you're going to be able to take that hat off and the headset off.
I know,
and everything.
this is terrible.
But you'll figure it out because your team's ready to celebrate with you. Congratulations,
yes.
Brooklyn.
Thank you
Congratulations.
so much. Go Devs.
Grand slam to end the game. Even if she didn't realize it, we were doing the math. Everyone else was doing the math. And you know what her teammates did? They made sure she cooled off a little bit. More softball to come after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
We're here for those who build America. Those who believe that giving everything we've got today will pay off tomorrow. Who will drive America forward for 250 years to come. If that's who you are, you value what we value, and you should pay what we pay.
When people are betting on you, every pass, every shot, it's not just the coach in your ear. It's the comment sections, the DMs, the losers who make threats and harass you. But this isn't their game to play, it's yours. The NCAA is drawing the line, educating about the dangers of sports betting, tracking online threats, and protecting the integrity of the game. See all the ways the NCAA puts student athletes first.
So today, we're
Do-do-do-do.
People keep encountering the unknown.
It carries a promise that together